All right, let's dive into something pretty wild today. We're going to talk about a connection between a game that had us all wandering around our neighborhoods and, well, the future of delivery robots. I know, it sounds a little out there, but trust me, it's a story that's quietly changing the world right under our feet.
So let's just start with the big question right up front. On one hand, you've got a game about catching little digital monsters, and on the other, a robot that's supposed to bring you your pizza. What on earth could possibly link these two things? I mean, just look at them. Pokémon Go is pure entertainment, a massive hit that came out in 2016. Delivery robots are all about the real physical world, getting things from A to B, logistics, and serious autonomous tech. They seem like they're from completely different planets.
To solve this little puzzle, we've got to uncover this sort of quiet revolution that's been happening, literally, on the streets we walk down every single day. Okay, so let's rewind to 2016. Remember when Pokémon Go just exploded? It was crazy. It did something that no app had really done before at that scale. It got millions and millions of us off the couch, outside, and walking around the real world, pointing our phones at everything. And here, this is where the story takes a huge turn. Because while all those millions of people were playing, they were actually doing something else, something they had absolutely no idea they were doing. They were becoming, without a doubt, the world's biggest and most effective mapping crew. And the scale of this is just mind-blowing. This wasn't just happening in one city or, one country. We're talking about a continuous global mapping project across 190 countries. And it was all powered by people who were just trying to catch a Pikachu. And they were mapping everything. Not just the big roads that mapping cars drive down. They were mapping the tiny details that those services always miss. The footpaths that cut through a park, the specific entrances to buildings, every little hidden alleyway. These are the spots that players were walking, revisiting, and confirming over and over again. So, here's the crucial part. This wasn't an accident for everyone involved. Niantic, the company that made the game, knew exactly what was going on. While we were all playing, they were quietly building one of the most detailed, human-verified maps of the physical world that has ever existed. Okay, let's put a pin in that for a second and switch gears completely. Let's talk about the world of robotics. They have this huge fundamental hurdle to overcome, and it's something people call the centimeter problem. You see, for any kind of self-driving vehicle, a car, a little delivery bot, whatever, the normal GPS in your phone just doesn't cut it. It is nowhere near accurate enough to navigate the messy, complicated real world. So just how inaccurate are we talking? Well, standard GPS is only accurate to within about 3 to 5 meters. That's like 10 to 16 feet. That's a massive margin of error. It might be okay for your car's navigation, but for a little robot trying to stay on a sidewalk, that is a recipe for disaster. Think about it this way. With GPS, a robot just sees a big 5-meter wide maybe zone where a curb could be. It might drive right off it. But with the kind of map Niantic was building, it sees the exact edge of the curb, down to the centimeter. That is the difference between a successful delivery and a busted-up robot on the sidewalk. You need that inch-perfect precision. And now, this is where our two stories slam right into each other. This is where the world of chasing Pikachu connects directly to the world of delivering packages. This quote from Bikash Jain just nails it perfectly. Players weren't thinking, oh, I'm contributing to a global geospatial dataset. No way. They were just trying to catch a cool Pokémon. They were playing a game.
So here it is. This is the big aha moment. The game wasn't just a game. It was the most brilliant, efficient mechanism ever invented for collecting that super precise centimeter-level data. The exact information about curbs and lampposts and doorways that these autonomous robots desperately need to see the world.
And listen, this isn't just some cool theory. It's a real business model. Niantic now licenses this incredible living map through a platform they call Lightship. And robotics companies are paying them for access to this constantly updated, player-verified map of the world.
But this story is actually about something much bigger than just a game and some robots. It's about a really powerful business idea called a data flywheel. Let's break down what that actually means.
At the very core of this idea is something called data exhaust. It sounds a little gross, but all it means is the valuable information that gets created as a side effect, a byproduct of what your product is actually supposed to do. The main product here was a game. The data exhaust was the map.
So Niantic's flywheel is just beautiful in its simplicity. Step 1, you create a super addictive game. Step 2, you have millions of players who, without even realizing it, map the entire world for you. Step 3, you harvest that incredibly valuable, precise data. And step 4, you use that data to power a whole new industry. And this, to me, is the most mind-blowing part of the whole thing. The data exhaust, the byproduct of the game, ended up becoming an asset that is potentially worth even more than the ridiculously successful game that created it. That's just wild. Okay, so why should you care about any of this? Because this isn't just a clever trick for a gaming company. It's a huge lesson for anyone building a business or creating something new. It really makes you start asking some important questions, right? What's the data exhaust from your product? What valuable information are your users creating just by doing what they do? Are there patterns hiding in your data that could be your next big thing? To wrap it all up, you have to appreciate the genius here. Niantic didn't just map the world. They figured out how to get the most expensive part of that process, the actual data collection, paid for by millions of people who were just out there having a good time. And that's what I want to leave you with. Take a look around. The apps you use, the company you work for. What valuable data exhaust is being created, just hiding there in plain sight, waiting to kickstart the next quiet revolution? Thanks for hanging out.